with Mr. Mike Armstrong. Thank you so much for your precious time, sir. I just want to know about you, and my audience is as well want to know about yourself. Will you please introduce yourself to my audience?
My name is Mike Armstrong. I'm an entrepreneur. My nickname's the Welsh Dragon. I like to breathe fire into the next generation of entrepreneurs. So I'm a content creator. I'm an ebook writer, an author. I'm a speaker. I like to motivate, inspire, and educate young entrepreneurs, especially. I've been an entrepreneur since I was 11, so I know what it's like to be a young entrepreneur. And I've learned a lot in my life in various different roles and capacities. And I like to teach what I've learned to other people so that they can stand on my shoulders and get further than I've ever been. Because learning off those who've been there, done it, and got the t-shirt and the experience is a good way to accelerate your own growth.
Okay, nice introduction, and thank you for being a good teacher for us. I just want to know how would you describe Mike Armstrong in just 3 words?
Um, Determined, consistent, and hungry.
Okay, and can you describe a little bit the last one?
I think since I've been since I've been a young child, I've always wanted to be either like an MD of my own company or an MD of a company. I've always been ambitious, and I've always wanted to get better in life and improve. And I think being hungry is the key to that. If you're hungry for things, if you're hungry for achievement, for success, for making a difference, for whatever it is you're hungry for, that hunger, and that desire keeps you wanting to learn, develop, grow, wanting to get better, wanting to maybe meet people who can help you get to where you want to get to, etc. The hunger and the desire is key for you to keep developing. And also is key to being able to overcome whatever life's obstacles and hurdles has for you, because there's always some, and you need to hunger and desire to be able to get over those sort of obstacles, etc., and to keep growing and developing to the person you need to be to get to where you want to be.
Nice. I really inspired from your thoughts. Uh, may I know what inspired you to become an entrepreneur? What inspired you to make an entrepreneur? I'm audible for you, Mike. Hello? Hello? May I audible for you? Hello? Are
Talking
you?
about obstacles and hurdles, technology is always one of them. It's great when it works, not so great when it don't. But I'm sure we can overcome this obstacle and hurdle when we get back online.
Hello? May I audible for you, Mike?
So anyway, while our host has disappeared.
Hello?
Oh, hello, hi. I was just
Hi.
talking about obstacles and hurdles, and
Uh,
we had one technical obstacle and hurdle, and that's life. That's when you use technology, sometimes it lets you down, and not to worry. Let's just carry on through.
Yeah, my question was with you that may I know what inspired you to become an entrepreneur?
Um, well, my mum and dad got divorced when I was 8, and uh, my mum sort of always did the best for us. She always looked after us for birthdays and Christmases and things like that. But I realised that if I wanted things, all the time, and I wanted to, have a better life, etc., then I had to work hard for it. There's no superhero or hero coming to save you. You've got to do it yourself in this world. So I think just I had a natural instinct for building relationships, connecting with people, sales, negotiating, that sort of thing. I'm part Irish, and that's probably my Irish genetics. The Irish people like a deal, and I just was creative and entrepreneurial, and I was inspired by people like Sir Richard Branson back in the day, who was like flying hot air balloons around the world and doing crazy things. And I think I got the bug for it. I don't know if it was my genetics or my upbringing, but I was into sports a lot and very competitive. And that's why I've always believed in improving and getting better, because I watch a lot of sport and a lot of sports people, and you see them starting off as youngsters, not much experience, sometimes some skills, sometimes not, but you can see them getting better and better over time invested, and so I've invested the same sort of time in my personal career and my personal life, and yeah, so I think I was just made to be an entrepreneur. I think some people are, and some people fall into it, but either way, it's a great lifestyle and a great life choice for me, especially. So yeah, just had the natural ability to. Um, I suppose I had the need, the natural ability, and the skill set to work as an entrepreneur. Some people can't do it because they need comfort and security, but I'm a risk taker.
Yeah,
And entrepreneurs need to take risks in life. So, just being an
yeah.
entrepreneur is a risk zone, because you don't get paid day to day or month to month like most people. You have to go out and earn whatever it is that you earn.
Yeah, I agree. So, were there any mentors or role models who influenced your career path?
I say, somebody like Sir Richard Branson has often influenced my sort of decisions and thought processes. I've also had, I started out in sales at 15, employed. I was managing, team leading at 16, and managing at 18. I had good sales managers in the early days, I think, which I learned a lot from. I also had some bad ones, which I think I learned a lot more from. Um, so there's always people that shape your life. My mum and my nan are grafters, so they were fantastic role models for me, because they all showed me that if you work hard, you can get on in life. Um, and more later in life, from the age of about 37, and I'm like 48 now, nearly 49. From the age of about 37, I reached out to the whole personal development world. I met a lot of top speakers like Les Brown and Brian Tracy and John DeMartini and Sharon Lecter, and I've listened to and met a lot of people. But more recently, um, the two people I actually listen to the most are Jim Rohn, who taught Tony Robbins, and Brian Tracy, who's just a legend in sales and marketing and psychology, which are the things I'm interested in.
Wow, nice. So, what was your first business venture?
My first business venture was sort of probably illegal today, but it wasn't back then. I used to have Sky TV in my house, and not many people had it at the time. So I used to record the movie, sell it to kids in school. It's probably called piracy or copyright infringement now, but back then I was a young kid, and Sky had just come into the world, and I spotted an opportunity in the market. I had the resources to fulfill that opportunity, so I went on, and I was recording movies, from Sky, things like Commando and Total Recall and Rambo, and action films basically, and I was selling them to the kids in school who didn't have Sky.
Okay. So, did you face challenges? I know as you mentioned, the only the persons who become entrepreneur, they have risk in their lives. So what risk and challenges you face in your life, and how you overcome that risks and challenges, and what motivates you to keep building business and helping others?
But I think the risks for entrepreneurs are, that you might have bad months or bad weeks or whatever. You may not earn money. Your earnings aren't consistent like in a job, so you have to ride the downs as well as the ups. So you have to be good with budgeting and maybe not spending money you don't need. You need to be good at going out and selling and bringing in more revenue so that you can cover whatever it is that you're spending money on, and your cost of living, etc. It's much easier to do that when you're young and you're a young entrepreneur, perhaps still living at home with the parents, etc., because the risks are lower. So you should take bigger risks because you can afford to. Um, but all people have those sort of challenges, especially if you're not from a rich family or a wealthy family. Then you have to be able to pay for your petrol or your public transport, or you need to be able to pay for your food and your drink while you're out working. These are all risks that everyday entrepreneurs face, especially when they're young. Can I afford to do this? Can I afford to do that? Etc., etc. So they're the risks all entrepreneurs who don't come from money have to face. Challenges like everyone else. I've had parents die. I've had divorce. Challenges of having young children and trying to work through that. There's lots of life's challenges are there for everyone to face, and how you deal with them is often well, you can get on in life. How you can sort of keep focused on what it is you need to do while still overcoming hurdles and challenges and obstacles. Um, the reason I suppose I like to give back to people is because I would say I've had a very tough life. I wasn't, born with, a lot of wealth or anything like that. I come from a working class family. Um, my mum and dad divorced when I was 8. I've always been independent and had to rely on myself because you're the only person, you're the main star in your movie. So there's no one else going to come and save you. You've got to rely on yourself. And so because I've always had it hard and I've always been in management roles at the age of 16, well, team leader roles 16, 18, I've always by nature helped other people, in my team and, new recruits and that sort of thing. So I've spent a life helping other people get better at what it is that they do in order so that they can earn good money and hit targets, their own targets, help me hit my team targets, etc. So I'm used to giving back to people. And because I understand entrepreneurialism is a great lifestyle, but it also can be a bit lonely and it can have challenges that are hard to overcome on your own. I just think, I can give back, so I will give back. If you can, then you should. And so, if I can help people with a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of information, a little bit of support, guidance, whatever it may be, if I can help people improve and get better and overcome some obstacles, or just take up entrepreneurship in the first place, or whatever. My aim is just to motivate, to inspire, to support, to educate as many people as I can because I can.
Okay. Okay, so your mother is a very, you can say, an inspiration for you, and I think she is a brave lady. Who has a son like you. I just want to know more about digital world. How has social media changed the marketing industry and marketing campaign? How we can use today's digital world marketing campaigns successful?
Yeah, well, social media and Facebook, the internet, and all of that has leveled the playing field for entrepreneurs, and it's allowed access to the entrepreneurial world much more cost effective and much easier for many people, especially young entrepreneurs. Before, you used to have companies, and you used to have to spend money on radio advertising. You used to have to make a lot of money to be able to really get yourself out there. But now, you just spend time. If you haven't got money, you can spend time, and you can put as much time as you want to. into any of the social media platforms, and your YouTube, your TikTok, your Instagram, your Facebook, your LinkedIn. You don't need money to do that. You just need time. If you've got money, you can spend it, and it can move things along quicker. But if you want to learn this and learn the worlds that each social media platform is its own world. You've got to learn the rules of engagement and what works and what don't work, and the different hashtags and the different trending and all that. So if you want to spend time,
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
you can really learn, like LinkedIn. You can immerse yourself into Facebook, into Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and you can become an expert in those things over time. And over time, as you earn more and more money, you can invest in other people to do the work for you. But you don't need
Yeah.
to do that at the beginning. You just learn yourself, and you can get better yourself, and you can start making money straight away. And there's lots of sites like Upwork and you know similar sites, Fiverr and whatever, where you can advertise your services to the world.
Lots of platforms. Yeah, people per
Platform.
hour, Fiverr, Upwork.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what a lot of entrepreneurs don't realize, especially young entrepreneurs, is the smartphone that they carry around in their pocket to play games on, or to do the odd TikTok dance video, or to phone friends or whatever. That device has replaced millions of pounds worth of products and services that you used to have to pay for in the past. It's replaced encyclopedias, it's replaced libraries, document systems, software systems, expensive, having to go into town centres to get up for work, and it's endless. It's replaced like millions of pounds worth of stuff, and it's all in your phone, most of it for free. So literally, they have everything they
Yeah.
need in their smartphone to build a business. It's never been easier. Business. And if you utilize all the things that are available via an app or a download or a link on your phone, you can basically do anything you want to in business, pretty much. I almost 100% of the time manage my businesses from my smartphone. I don't need a laptop. I don't need a computer. I don't, Excel spreadsheets and certain softwares and whatever. You can do it all. You don't need radio advertising, newspaper advertising, encyclopedias. You don't even need receptionists, salespeople, and all that these days. AI is replacing it all. So you literally can build your entire business on the phone. To be smart enough to realize that the power is in the phone, and you need to be clever enough to know you know very little, and you want to be wanting to learn so that you know very much, and you need to go from knowing very little to knowing a lot, and you can do that through education, through YouTube videos, through blogs, what you can find the information to help you succeed in that. So it's all there at the touch of a button.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with your opinion because in our school in Rehan Alawala system, that what actually we are teaching them, that how to use social media, how to use your skills, how to use your social media platforms, and these are the actual skills for the that in future we have to need to grasp on the things, and we are teaching our children, even their families, parents and cousins and sisters as well, that don't scroll just on the social media, but you can take lots of benefits from the social media, that this is the purpose of our school. My next question from that is about the mistakes. From your experience, can you please give us some three common mistakes that the businessmen make in marketing?
Yeah, so I think one mistake is they don't do enough market research. Nearly all businesses, all entrepreneurs don't do enough market research, and they don't actually know what industry or sector they're going into. They don't know how competitive it is, what the average prices are, what the profit margins are. They don't know who the competitors are. They literally just start, and they start without any of that information. And over time, they'll get to learn all of that information. But if they gathered all of that information at the beginning, it would save them a year or 2 or 3 of gathering that information as they go through the process. So I think market research is important. You need to know what your USPs are compared to other people, what your value for money proposition is against other people. You need to know, for example, have you got a product that is sellable? Are there customers out there, and is the market big enough to sustain you? You need to know all of these things to be able to improve your results, your performance, the revenue you make, the sales you make, etc. If you don't know this information, it'll take you a long time to build it. But if you do some proper, thorough market research, even on things like your name, your service, your brand, all of these sort of things, if you get all of that right, it'll help you elevate to a position of comfort and then a position of thriving much quicker than if you just start blind and you don't really know where you're going. So it's always good to have a plan of action. It's always good to know where you're trying to get to so you can plan the route rather than just going in blind. So that's one mistake a lot of people make. Another one is expecting results instantly. It takes a long time to create traction, but once you start creating traction, it speeds up and it gets quicker and easier, but it can take a long time to get going. So don't lose heart. Don't give in easily. Be committed to what it is you're trying to do. Be persistent. Keep learning and evolving and developing, because what you even know about some systems today will change tomorrow or the next week or the next month, because these things are moving quick and they're evolving rapidly, and you've got to be able to move and evolve and adjust with them. So it's about constantly giving yourself time, giving yourself patience, not expecting overnight success, but being prepared for the long haul. If you get quick success, great, happy days. But the majority of people got to work through it and got to keep at it, and they'll build expertise over time. And people value expertise. So if you haven't got a lot of expertise at the beginning, you need to gain some. Um, and yeah, I always say it takes 10 years to become a master. It takes 20 years to become a grandmaster, and it takes 30 years to become a Jedi. And what I mean by a Jedi is like, you pretty much can answer every question to do with that sector or that subject. You don't just know your subject, your cells know your subject. It's in you. Yeah. You don't need to think about it. And so like youngsters think like, I want to make millions of pounds. People make money on Instagram or whatever. They don't understand that those people have spent the time. They become a master. They become a grandmaster. And often the ones you see them where they know everything about what they do, but they were once novices who knew nothing. But it's the time that gave them the ability to become an expert. And once you become an expert in something, and if it's something that people value expertise in, then that's where you can monetize that, and you can you can make money not just providing the expertise, but even coaching the expertise, educating other people on how to do the expertise, write books, all that sort of thing. If you build up your levels to become a master, a grandmaster, or a Jedi, then your value really goes skyrocket.
Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. And you are sharing your experiences. As you mentioned that your mission is to support as many entrepreneurs as possible. So where does this passion come from?
Well, about 37, when I discovered the world of personal development, I met a guy called Grant Cardone, who's an American billionaire, author, speaker, etc. And at the time, I was 37, and he was about late 50s, early 60s. And basically, I went to a conference in London where he was launching himself into the UK. And for the whole 2 days, I didn't learn a thing off Grant Cardone. And he's a great, great guy and a great educator and a great speaker. But I didn't learn a thing off him because I had started as an entrepreneur at 11. He'd started at 23. So that gap in age, if you like, meant that I was in a similar sort of place to Grant Cardone. I'd learned the same things. I didn't learn a thing off him. In fact, I was with a client of mine at the time in this 2 day course. And my client, every time Grant Cardone spoke, he said, "Oh, you said that to me in the car on the way. You said that to me. You told me that. You did this. You did that." And I was thinking, well, Grant Cardone is like a well-known American billionaire. He teaches people sales, marketing, psychology, property development, that sort of thing. And I used to be a corporate sales director myself. I've been in sales all my life. And I thought, well, if this guy is operating on a global basis, educating and teaching entrepreneurs, then I should be, because I know the same information. So ever since that day, really, Grant Cardone inspired me to become a global speaker. And the reason I got inspired to do that is because I know I can. So I think if you can, you should. Uh, and also, I love helping people. I help people on a one-to-one basis and a one-to-small group basis already. And I thought, well, if I can become a global speaker with a global platform, then that would allow me to elevate my helping to reach masses of people. And I think if I'm able to help and reach masses of people, then that should be my goal. And so ever since then, I've been working on a goal to become a global speaker and to educate as many entrepreneurs as I can. And I'm a speaker. I've spoken internationally. I wouldn't class myself as a global speaker, but I'm somebody who's working my way up the path to become a global speaker. And I learn off all the best speakers on the planet right now. People like Jim Rohn, Len Brown, Brian Tracy, John DeMartini, Sharon Lecter, Robert Kiyosaki, Bob Proctor. I listen to all the best people who are in the speaking world right now so that I can, become one of the best speakers in the world. That's my mission. I want to become a top speaker, not because I've got um, a drive or an ambition for me to be there, to say I'm at the top or I'm one of the best or anything like that, but because I want to be able to impact as many people as possible. And so by getting to the top of the industry, reach and impact the most amount of people that you can. And I just believe I can do it. And so if I believe I can do it, then I'm going to have a go.
Yeah, yeah, that's very nice. So, why is building a personal brand is important in 2026? What is the importance of a personal brand in 2026?
Because ultimately there's loads of companies out there that nobody knows who they are and what they do. They just got systems and processes in place, and they build, through those processes. But often the person running the companies, the figurehead for the company, is the company's personal brand. So people like Richard Branson, for example, they'll trade Virgin because they know Richard Branson's behind the brand, so it's going to be a good company. I think Tony Robbins has got 140 companies. They all turn over billions, but everybody knows them as Tony Robbins or Tony Robbins companies. Yeah, the personal brand is, the entrepreneur behind the business with the vision, the mission, the values. It's the thing people can connect with and associate with. And if you have a good personal brand, then people will trust your businesses, whatever they do. They will trust. They will trust you. They'll buy from you. So I think we've moved into a age of authenticity. It's important to be authentic and to be yourself and find your tribe. And if you are authentic and you represent good values, a good mission, that sort of thing. Have a good vision. You want to make a difference, which I think is important this day and age. A lot of people, consumers, are interested in people or businesses, companies that are going to make a difference. So, people get behind mission. They're interested in the values, the shared values, whatever. You build your tribe, your market, your audience through shared values and shared system and a shared mission. They want to join your mission because they understand what it is. So I think that's why personal branding is so important these days. It's clear. It's important to be clear what you believe in, so that other people who believe in that too can join you on the mission.
Yeah. I just want to know one thing more, that how can our student and me can collaborate with you, and what opportunities do you see for young people to learn, contribute, and work with you in the future?
Ultimately, life is about networking and collaboration. I think that's another key thing. Think, like we managed to solve COVID as a human race through collaboration between various countries and scientists, whatever. And I think there's lots of challenges the human race have with global warming and politics and wars and all sort of things. And I think the human race is much stronger together than they are separated individual. So I think there's always opportunities to work as an older entrepreneur with younger entrepreneurs because they have different causes and different things that they want to achieve and do. So you can always that help with leverage, with connection, with knowledge, the sharing of knowledge and wisdom. Yes, ChatGPT and AI is there, but sometimes people need a friendly voice to, or a different language to listen to. So it's important once you've learned a lot about a certain subject to reshare that information, help improve the next generation and to improve the human race. But all people, in my opinion, should be prepared to build connections, build relationships, and collaborate with others. You never know what those things are, but sometimes the strangest things happen when you have a coffee or a Zoom call and you chat with somebody, and then you end up working on a joint mission, or you have some shared value, a joint project or a joint venture. It's always good to connect with people, find out what they're trying to achieve, tell them what you're trying to achieve, see how you can help each other. And that could be with the introduction of other people, it could be with the sharing of knowledge, the creation of a joint venture or a joint product. There's lots of different ways that people can collaborate and work together. And so I'm a massive networker. I'm known as a super connector. I know a lot of people, and I like to introduce them to each other, like synergy or shared values. And I think these guys need to know, or these girls need to know. So I'm going to put them together and see what magic happens. And I've done lots of that, introductions with people that I know would be great for other people. And those relationships and introductions have gone on to do great things just by putting those people together. So yeah, I think I'm always willing to help and work with anyone really that is on a shared mission or a shared vision or got similar values, or if they don't have anything in common with me, but have some knowledge or some skill sets or people that I can connect them to, then I'm happy to do that too.
Okay, so my final question from you, that what is the one quote or life principle that guides everything you do?
Um, I've got a couple of life principles. One of them is work hard and play hard, and another is to live a life of no regrets. And that's the risk taker in you. Yeah, you're much more likely to regret the things you didn't try than the ones you failed at.
Yeah. Okay. So, Mike, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. It was very truly inspiring to hear about your entrepreneurial journey, your insights on marketing, technology, and supporting entrepreneurs around the world. So, we greatly appreciate your valuable advice and experiences. On behalf of Rehan School, our students, and our audience, thank you for being with us. We wish you continued success in all your future. Thank you once again. It was a pleasure having you with us today. Having a wonderful day.
Okay, you have a wonderful day too. Keep doing the great work. Anything that helps share knowledge, information for the next generation of entrepreneurs, I'm 100% behind. If I can help you in any other way, I'm just a message away. And you have yourself a great day. I know I will, because having a good day and happiness is a choice. And I choose to have a good day every day, and I choose happiness.
Thank you so much for your precious words. And my students are always with you, and I'm as well. We will work with you as a voluntarily even. So we just want to learn from your experiences. You can give us any work of digital media marketing. So we will do that work for you. We can edit videos, we can manage the social medias, and each and everything, even anything you want to do as a research, you can ask us, and I will, and my team will, with you, inshallah.
Okay, brilliant. I will take you up on that offer. Okay, we'll chat.
Thank,
We'll off
thank you.
air. All the best. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye.